Um, just a bit. So last night you had some exchanges from the remote people, and said that I thought that I didn't really feel a lot of their presence yesterday. I asked, are we doing something wrong? I said, well, first of all, you're here completely immersed in this, and we have quite a few other things going on. So you need to give us a kind of the low bandwidth version. So what I spent some time trying to get this map up to date, and I also kind of highlighted the actual patterns that so these are links to actual patterns. Not all the patterns we created are here. What I also did is I went through the two value and vision documents and kind of tried to plan through all the notes and kind of wrote them up. But I think this will be a good reference for us when we rewrite the patterns to see how the patterns we have relate to these. And the last thing that Becky and I did, we went through all the patterns and we marked them. I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to maybe zoom in a bit. So you see that next to the names of the patterns, there's either a dash or a single star or two stars.
Yeah.
The 3-star would be a pattern that's kind of ready to go to EduPLoP conference, right? So it's pretty much ready for someone who's not been part of the process to read. But obviously, none of the patterns are there yet, but some of them are already fairly well developed for considering the amount of time we've had to work on them. So I thought that, especially for people who are kind of trying to keep up with us remote, and said, well, if you want to kind of come in and comment and interact with one of the texts, probably better to start with the ones that are 2 stars and then work your way down. So I think also we should, throughout the day, kind of maintain this marking. I don't know if it's better to put the marks before the name, so that way you can sort, if you sort by name, and if the kind of the marking is before the name, then they would sort them. So maybe that would be good. But also for us, because when we're cross-reviewing or cross-editing each other's patterns, I think it's good to know when there's something that's just a title, basically, so that the dashes are, maybe a title and a synopsis, but not much there. So if you're not the one who put this one in, you probably wouldn't know what to do with it. The 1 star and 2 star is the one that are already. So let's say 1 star already has like the core, problem solution context, and the 2 stars already have some additional substance, and that the courses are elaborated and implementation details, whatever. So that's kind of, like I said, where we are at the moment. I would encourage you also to add your patterns to the map, because I wasn't sure where to put all of those. So so you would know better where your pattern fits in the grand scheme. But the other thing is that you can also see that we kind of so we did a lot of work around this area of hybrid production. And we did a little bit of work around this area of inside out, but this part of the map, sharing, caring, collaboration, performance, assessment, all of these bits are still average, and that's because each group kind of took one of the tables and work through the patterns on that table. So obviously, you know, you are kind of confined by that. So I think for this morning, what we kind of thought is we'll first spend, you know, because people kind of commented on each other's patterns, we'll spend the first half hour reviewing the comments we received on our patterns and kind of doing a quick iteration on them. And then we'll remix and, you know, form new teams, and then you know, select another area in the map and work on that. Yes.
One suggestion that when you go back to your group, that it is an idea that we add all the pattern candidates from that area we were looking at, add that as a template to the list and also to the mind map. So we have all the pattern candidates from that area covered in both the documents and the mind map. So when we move on to pick another area, so that we end up actually with a mind map and a list of patterns, with the complete list. But everything, even though they're just a title and maybe a rough idea, but you have documented them all. So
I think that's good. They're a very good idea. But then, you know, not just the title, but also just a one-liner, right? Because it's if you have just the title. I mean, the titles are often, you know, they try to be catchy, but they don't tell you really what this pattern is about. So if you add a kind of a pattern candidate, you know, then just title and synopsis, and put it in the map, and, you know, put the dash before the name, so we all know it's just a candidate. And yeah, so we go back to the original groups. We review and revise based on the feedback we received, and then we put in the candidate patterns for the area we were working on, and then in what 45 minutes, so let's say at 10, what, earlier, later?
A little bit longer. If you also make the templates and come up with a summary of the other patterns in the area, then it might take a little bit longer.
Okay, so 10:30 we reconvene, remix, and then we have time to write one more pattern before lunch, yeah?
And I was just thinking, so at least we had some discussions in our group that the notes that we didn't put the headline on, and that's well, nobody is represented in the group. We might have difficulties to actually even coming up with the synopsis, because document camera can mean a lot of things. Is it a camera that documents? Is it, you know,
camera without documents?
Yeah, is it documenting cameras? You know, so that can mean a lot of things. So I think, you know, the best thing would be that the groups that, for example, our group over here, we make all the templates, but the ones that make that note should make the synopsis, and that it would be our responsibility before the day is finished to have put a couple of lines on all the ones that we did ourselves.
So let's say if there's something that you put in but you have no idea what it is, put a question mark before it.
Yeah.
And then around lunch sometime we'll just go over all. So each one of us will go and see, oh, that's something that I put in. There's a question mark. Go and put the synopsis, switch it to a dash.
Yeah. Or delete it.
Or delete it.
Yeah.
Good. So and the remote. I mean, the only thing I can tell the people joining us remotely is just. I mean, the question is, do we want to try to bring them in live? One thing we can do, we can leave this Hangout open, and so if somebody joins in, they'll just shout, and then we'll say, oh, hi, you know. So that's an option. Or we just tell them, you know, just hook in. I mean, just come in and find a pattern that's 2 stars and comment on it. Or we can do both.
Just leave it open.
Okay, so I'll leave this open, even if you want to join in on any particular pattern, so you can shout now, and we'll tell you who's working on that one. I'll end the live broadcast because I think that's...